Good morning, students. Today I am here to explain the fourth poem of our course book, Somebody's Mother. Before explanation, let's the introduction part. The present poem, Somebody's Mother, it is written by Mary Dow Bryan. Mary Dow Bryan, she was children's poet as well as author. Somebody's Mother, in this poem, she has shown us the pain of a lonely mother. In the present poem, the poet has shown us the pain, the grief of a lonely mother. Now, how she has become a lonely, it is not sure, but it is assumed after the war in America, the great work of rebuilding of the nation began. There was a war in America, and after the war, for rebuilding the nation, the work has started. So many young men left their hometowns in search of livelihoods. Many young people, many youths, they left their hometowns in search of livelihoods to earn money. Maybe the old mother in the poem had one such son and then she was lonely. It is not sure, that is why it is written maybe. Perhaps the woman which is mentioned in the poem, she had a son and that son had left the hometown in search of livelihoods and hence the woman or the mother was lonely. This is the introduction part of the poem Somebody's Mother. Now let's understand the poem stanza wise. First stanza, the woman was old and red and grey and went with the chill of the winter's day. The street was wet with the recent snow and the woman's feet were aged and slow. This is the first stanza of the poem. In this we are given the description of the old woman. The woman was old and red and grey. The woman was old, red it means she wore torn clothes, and grey it means lacking of cheer, lacking of happiness. It means she was gloomy. So description of the woman, she was old, red means she had worn torn clothes and she was gloomy, she was sad, and went with the chill of the winter's day. As it was the winter season, so due to extreme cold, she was bent. She was bent with the chill, means with extreme cold of the winter's day. The street was wet with the recent snow. The street, the roadside, it was wet because of recent snowfall. And the woman's feet were aged and slow. As the road, it was wet due to recent snow, and the woman was aged, and due to that she was slow in walking. This is about the first stanza. Now let's see the second stanza. She stood at the crossing and waited long, alone, uncared for amid the throng of human beings who passed her by, nor heeded the glance of her anxious eyes. In the second stanza, she stood at the crossing and waited long. The woman was standing where? The woman was standing at the crossing and she waited for a long time to cross the road. The woman was standing at the crossing and she wanted to cross the road, but she was waiting for a long to cross the road. Alone, how was she? She was alone, uncared for amid the throng of human beings who passed her by. She was alone. She was standing alone at the crossing, and many people, they were passing. The human beings throng, it means crowd. Many people passed by her, but those people, they were uncared. They were careless. Why uncared? Because nor heeded the glance of her anxious eyes. The people who passed by the woman, they had not heeded the glance of the worried eyes of the woman. The people, they passed her by, but no one had even looked at her worried, anxious, it means worried eyes. The people, they continued passing her, but no one had heeded the glance of her worried eyes. This is the explanation of the second stanza. Let's understand the third stanza. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came the boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow pile white and deep. Past the woman so old and grey, hastened the childhood on their way. This is the third stanza. Now let's understand it. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came the boys like a flock of sheep. The woman, she was standing at the crossing, and nearby there was a school, and the school is over. So from the school, the boys, they came out in a line, and that the boys came out in a line, it is like a flock of sheep. The boys, they were laughing and they were shouting. Why? Because it was the end of school. It was the end of the school day, and that is why they were laughing, they were shouting as they got freedom from the school today. So they were laughing and shouting. Also, they were hailing, hailing it means they were shouting a lot as they had observed the heap of snow. When they came out from the school, as one happiness due to now the school is over, that is why they were happy. So they were laughing and shouting, and again they were shouting as they observed the heap of snow everywhere. Past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on the way. The children, they were passing by the woman, and they were walking hastily. Hastily, it means speedily, swiftly. They were passing the woman. Now fourth stanza. Not offered a helping hand to her, so meek, so timid, afraid to steal, lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should crowd her down in the slippery street. The boys who came out from the school, they were passing by the woman, but not a single boy offered her helping hand. No boy was ready to help this old woman. This old woman, she was weak, she was scared, and she was afraid to walk. Why she was afraid to walk? Because the road, it was wet because of recent snow. She was weak also, she was aged also, and due to that she was afraid to steal, she was afraid to move forward. Lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet, lest it means perhaps that woman thought that the carriage wheels of carriages or the horse's feet, they would made him fall on the road, as it was slippery street, as it was slippery road. So maybe the wheels of the carriages or the horse's feet, they would fall on the woman, and she also thought that she would sleep on the street as it was wet road or wet. Now let's understand the fifth stanza. At last came one of the merry troop, the gayest lady of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, I will help you cross if you wish to go. This is the fifth stanza of the poem. Now let's understand it. At last came one of the married troop, the gayest lady of all the group. From the school, one last group of happy boys, married group, it came out, and from that merry group, from that happy group, the happiest boy, the gayest boy of the group, he paused beside her and whispered low. That happiest boy from the group, he stopped beside the old woman and asked softly, I will help you cross if you wish to go. The boy, the happiest boy from the group, he was ready to help the woman to cross the road if she wanted to go. If she wished to cross the road, the boy was ready to help the woman. This is about 5th stanza. Now let's see 6th stanza. Her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were firm and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. Now let's understand it. In the 5th stanza we have seen, from a merry group, the happiest boy, he offered helping hand to the woman to cross the road. So the woman, the old woman, she placed her hand on the strong arm, on the strong hand of the boy, and that boy, without hurt or harm, the boy guided, the boy helped the woman to cross the road. The boy, he helped the woman to cross the road. The woman, she placed her aged arm on the shoulder of the young boy. Then the boy, without hurting, without harm, he took the woman on the other side of the road, proud that his own were firm and strong. This line, see, proud that his own were firm and strong. This line, it is for the boy's mother. The boy was proud that his mother, she was not old, she was not weak, she was firm and strong. That is why the boy was proud. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. The boy, after helping the woman, the boy went back to his friends. He joined his group. But that time, that happiest boy who helped the woman, his heart was full of happiness and well content. Dear students, whenever we help anyone without our selfish motives, or we help somebody without our own benefit, that time we also feel the same happiness. We feel extreme happiness, and our heart, there is a satisfaction, 100% satisfaction that we have helped someone. So here, in the same way, the boy, the happiest boy, when he helped the old woman to cross the road, that boy, he felt extreme happiness. His heart was full of happiness and he was well content. Well content, it means he was well satisfied to help. Now let's talk about the 7th stanza. See somebody's mother voice, for all she is aged and poor and slow. And I hope some fellow will lend her hand to help my mother, you understand. If ever she is poor and old and grey, when her own dear boy is far away. Now let's understand the 7th stanza. In the 6th stanza, at last we have seen that the boy was happy. The boy's heart was full of happiness, as well as the boy was well content. after helping the old woman to cross the road. After help, the boy went to his group. So after returning, when the boy joined the group, he informed the other boys that she was somebody's mother. The woman who was helped by the boy, that was somebody's mother, for she was aged, poor and slow. And the boy also informed his friends that the old woman, she was poor and she was slow, she was weak, she was scared. And he talked an important thing, that in future when his own mother would be old, would be poor or would be weak, during that time sure his mother would be helped by someone, as today he had helped the woman. See the moral values of the boy. The boy thought that in future when his mother was in need of anyone's help, when his dear son was not there, during that time his mother would be helped by someone definitely, because today he had helped somebody's mother. That is why the boy was confident, the boy was sure that in future his mother would be helped by someone. Now see the last stanza. And somebody's mother bowed low her head in her own that night, and the prayer she said was, God be kind to the noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy. The last stanza, it is also very important. In the last stanza, the poet has said, the woman, she reached her home and at night time she sat for prayer. At night time, the woman, she sat for prayer, and in her prayer she talked to God. She made the prayer in this way, that God be kind to the noble boy. She asked in prayer that God be kind to the noble boy, the good boy who was somebody's son. So in the poem, somebody's mother, and in the last line the poet has used the word somebody's son. That somebody's son, that was the prayer, that was the phrase used in the prayer by the old woman who was helped by the boy. She prayed to God that God be kind to the noble boy who was somebody's son. This is about the poem Somebody's Mother. Children, we have learned an important lesson from this poem, that whenever anyone is in need of any kind of assistance or help, if it is possible, then we have to help him or her. What we have to think in our mind, that in future, if we are in need, someone will help us. If not help us, then our relatives will be helped by someone. So this is the moral we can get from this poem, Somebody's Mother.